Hi, my name is Andrew Jensen. A lot of people call me AJ. I am the Pro Shop Manager here at Rockford-Cherry's location for BowlersMart. I am also a Storm Staffer, Vice Staffer, and a Kulik Staffer.
And my name is Justin Mooney. I am a part-timer here at BowlersMart Rockford-Cherry. I am also a Motive Staffer and also Kulik Staffer.
Great. Today we are talking about inserts for the thumb. A wise gentleman here in the area talked to us about how it'd be really cool for somebody to go over the systems that are out there. And we actually have 4 of them that we do inside the shop. 3 of which pretty much are just putting a system inside the ball, and then the other piece goes inside that ball for your thumb. All 4 of them pretty much give you 2 different pieces to have to put into. One of them out of the 4 is probably the most exhausting somewhat in a way, I mean, compared to the other ones. The other ones are a little bit easier. But in our eyes, we both have the ITs in our systems that we have currently, and we love that system entirely. Wouldn't change to the world, but there's definitely a couple other ones that are really high up there on our sales when it comes to the shop. So what we have in front of you is the Turbo switch grip. We've actually just labeled them for us to know. We've got Turbo here, Jopo, Ultimate, and then IT. Not sure how easy this will transfer into a video, but when we are drilling a ball on our end, the sleeves of the Turbo and Jopo and Ultimate all go into the ball in a certain fashion. In fact, we just got done drilling them, and we did use a ball that was just kind of plugged up to kind of be able to translate it over to this video to give you more of an understanding of what they're like. Turbo has what we call a 1/4 inch turn basically into the ball, and hopefully you'll be able to hear the lock system because it actually does lock pretty decent. So we wait for the click. Hopefully you get the click. If you don't do the click, probably going to fall out. I know that we do see some of these fall out on a majority of scale just because they didn't get locked into their system. Do you want to maybe go over the Ultimate and the Jopo?
So the Ultimate is kind of a similar story. It is a little tougher to get out though, so that does actually help out a little bit with security once I am able to get this one out.
Let me help you with that one. We drilled him out at a 63 inch thumb hole, and he's definitely not, you'll see later that he's definitely not got that kind of size thumb. Mine's a little bit closer to that, so.
So with the Ultimate, they have like these little tabs here on the thumb slug itself that actually does line up in the sleeve. I know you probably won't be able to see that on camera, but there is like little pads in the sleeve itself to kind of put these tabs into, and they are sized to kind of actually help make sure the thumb's in the right way, just to help prevent your putting the thumb in the wrong way. But it does provide a decent amount of security for you. So once I kind of get this back in, once I find it, there we go. There you go.
There, it clicked.
And then you did hear it click, stuff like that. So, but yeah, pretty secure actually, hard to get out. And then with their whole tabs on the thumb slug, it does help to make sure you are putting the thumbs in the right way.
Their system's really unique compared to Turbo. Turbo has what we have, 2 tabs on the bottom. In that 1/4 click, it's just gonna have 2 things that basically turn, where this one actually has,
there we go.
has 4, 2 on the one side, 2 on the other side, that actually align, like you said, into that system. And the only thing to us that is different for those 2 is those tabs, I think, in general. I think they do the same system. The next one you're going to find is the Jopo.
Yep. So Jopo, as we kind of say in the shop, is almost as if Vice and Turbo had a baby. Their thumb slugs are really unique, so you can kind of see on the thumb slugs there's like the grooves of a screw, kind of like what you'll see on the Vice ITs, but then you'll have the tabs on the bottom the same way you'd see in a Turbo. And the sleeve itself really is unique for being able to accommodate for the screws and the tabs. And honestly, I think possibly this is probably one of the most secure switch grip systems that are out there. Like I will put this in and you will be able to hear the click. If I put it in right.
No, you got it going. I think it's just a little bigger hole. There you go.
There we go. Yep, as you heard, that click is actually pretty loud, which means it's really secure. That thing is stuck in there. That thing is not going anywhere anytime soon.
Yeah, we were lucky enough to have the maker of these actually meet us in a meeting down in Florida last year. He brought in a Visiball type ball, was a vice ball, and the minute you heard it lock, it was very loud. So we enjoy these thoroughly. All the systems we enjoy a ton. This one has come a long way to kind of be in one of our second top favorites in the shop to use, I think, in general. But it doesn't mean that all the other systems aren't good or they're bad ones necessarily. So we've gone over the Jopo, we've gone over the Turbo, we've gone over the Ultimate. Next one up to bat for us is the IT, which we both have in our balls. He's gotten his new Supra, and I've gotten Belmo's Fate. Like he was saying with the Jopo, it has a little twist knobs down below that basically when the ball goes inside, it's just going to twist until it gets to a point to lock. And then you heard, I'm sure you heard, I would think, both of those kind of snapping into place. That one doing as well. All the systems are really super beneficial for anybody that wants to go from one ball to the next ball. Having the same feel in the thumb, no matter how great I think we are in the shop. I know that from ball to ball, if we were doing slug, there is going to be a minor difference to each cut, no matter how great I feel like I am at doing it.
And especially if you're somebody like me, I can feel the tiniest difference in my thumb, and it does change my release.
Yep. So if you are at a point where maybe you're thinking, man, I should get these, or I'm not sure if I should, I think ultimately just going to your local pro shop and trying to figure out if it's the right thing for you. I think anybody from kids, young kids, if they are at a point where they've got lots of bowling balls, it's probably beneficial to them to have those so that they can actually feel the same going from ball to ball. So I don't know if there's really an age limit necessarily. That's, I think, some good info to give out. I think that from us, it's just more of if they're just ready to use them at that point, I think it's beneficial. Ultimately, the biggest factor though that can come into play with these is that sometimes people can't get them locked into place. And because of that, they get lost in the back pretty easily. And obviously, the other thing would be they are made with some plastic, so there's a good chance that some of them can get worn out as time goes on. So if you're having issues with them, those are main characters of things that'll pop up for us in the shop that have issues with them. The other one is maybe the core shrinking and swelling a little bit. We find that we have to kind of cut that a little bit out. Not all products necessarily need that. I think we find it with the ITs sometimes, and I don't know. I know I've done it with turbos because the contracting of that core will come into play a little bit. Obviously we're up in an environment that changes, 4 seasons in a day sometimes, so kind of got to go with the flow.
Oh yeah.
Anything to add?
No. I think you've been hitting it pretty spot on. I think my only thing I would add for when is it time to kind of go into it, maybe like he said, if you are just starting to get a decent amount of bowling balls, I'd say in my personal opinion, maybe you're around your 3rd or 4th bowling ball. Like he said, as much as we can think we are possibly good at cutting thumbs, they're not going to be exact. So that's going to be a good idea to switch over to any of the switch grip systems. And kind of go from there. That way you're guaranteeing the same feel in your thumb throughout every ball. Because like I said, if you're like me, I feel the tiniest difference in my thumbs, and it does change my release. It does affect how I throw it, because if it is a touch loose, it'll fall off my thumb. If it's a touch tight, I'll hang on to it. So having one thumb that does fit perfectly, that you can have in all of your balls, is going to be extremely beneficial for you.
Yeah, I want to add one thing into this, that we do have things that'll help you get the items out if you're having that difficulty, if you're a young kid, or maybe you don't have a lot of grip pressure to be able to get them out. Or maybe you're trying to help somebody in a coaching environment where they need some help to get them out. We have tools if you want to grab the Jopo, and the Jopo one's really good. It's got a very unique system that goes in there. It helps get it out super easy. So that's one thing that you can use. I'm gonna go out of camera real quick. You can also do one of these guys. If you already had one of these, I would imagine if you're doing Jopo, it's gonna also have that ability to use that. It works with all of the systems, so turbo, super easy. Sometimes they can get stuck. You know, I would say that the times that I've seen them get stuck the most is when something gets jammed in them, from somewhere in the back maybe. Or maybe the system didn't get put in correctly to some degree, because there's angles and the cuts to the balls that you have to put them into. And that little sleeve up top, which in fact we have here, you can either put this on the slug or inside the ball, which inside the ball is what we've got for ours here. Justin was nice enough to drill all these out for us and put those in and have those all ready for us to show. But this would be another system that you can pick up at a pro shop nearby as you're doing this, or maybe you find that you have some difficulty, sweat and all that kind of things. It's a good thing to have just in case. So I think we're about at the end of it.
Yeah. And then I think the only thing I could add is just maybe in terms of sizes for thumb slugs. Usually, obviously you want one that fits right away. But usually it's pretty common for people to kind of get one to be maybe a little bit smaller for like when they do shrink, and then also to have one a little bit bigger for especially like the summertime, like what we're starting to see here at the time we're recording this. Starting to get a little humid out, we're gonna swell up, so to have one a little bit bigger to help accommodate for that as well. Absolutely.
So ultimately that's pretty much it. We've gone over all the systems. We are fully available here in the shop, and Justin has his own YouTube channel also. Feel free to hit us up at any point through any of those. Ask us questions if you have any thoughts about them, if you're just on the fence of whether or not you really want to do them, and we'd have more than happy to give you some answers on where to go and what to do, and maybe some troubleshooting issues if you have any.
Yeah.
So, thanks for tuning in, and hopefully you'll join us for some more things coming up here in the future. Justin, like I said, does have his own YouTube channel. We're starting one with the Pro Shop, and this is kind of what we're going to try to do with the Pro Shop. And next, up will maybe be some accessory type items like what you see in the picture here a little bit, maybe going forward, so like chamois and stuff like that. So,
yeah.
Anything else?
I don't think so. I think we've kind of hit everything.
All right. Well, thanks for tuning in. We'll talk to you next time.